why you could be trying to manifest from lack and not even know it. Why are you manifesting from lack even when you think you're not? Hello, you amazing human, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to share with you something that could be hiding in plain sight. You think you're being positive, high vibe, and abundant in your manifestation practice, but I'm about to show you why your body is actually screaming, "I don't have this," with every single affirmation you speak. This isn't about toxic positivity or not being grateful enough. This is about a fundamental misunderstanding of how manifestation actually works at a neurological level. And once you understand this, everything changes. Let me ask you something. When you're doing your manifestation practice, are you trying to feel abundant or are you actually abundant? Are you trying to feel loved or are you genuinely experiencing love? Are you trying to feel successful or do you embody success? Because here's the thing, your nervous system knows the difference and it's been rejecting your manifestations because of it. Dr. Joe Dispenza's research shows us that your body doesn't know the difference between what's actually happening and what you're imagining, but only when you're truly embodying that state. The problem is, most people are using manifestation techniques to try to get somewhere else, rather than to be somewhere else, and that energy of trying to get is pure lack. Think about it this way, Biles. When you say, "I am wealthy," whilst looking at your empty bank account, your entire system knows you're lying. When you affirm, "I am in my dream relationship," whilst feeling lonely, your body creates stress chemicals because there's incongruence between what you're saying and what you're experiencing. You're not manifesting abundance. You're manifesting the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Here's what's really happening in your nervous system. Every time you do a manifestation practice that's focused on getting something you don't have, you're actually reinforcing the neural pathways of lack. Your brain is thinking, why would we need to manifest this if we already had it? Your body is producing stress hormones because you're highlighting what's missing. You're literally programming yourself to be someone who needs to manifest these things, rather than someone who already has them. The HeartMath Institute has discovered that your heart generates the strongest electromagnetic field in your body, about 60 times stronger than your brain. When there's coherence between your heart and brain, when what you're thinking matches what you're feeling, you create a powerful field that can actually influence your reality. But when you're thinking abundant thoughts whilst feeling lack, you create chaos in your electromagnetic field. This is why some people can manifest effortlessly, whilst others struggle for years with the same techniques. The people who manifest easily aren't trying to get anything. They're simply being who they already are. They're not affirming from a place of, "I want this." They're affirming from a place of, "This is who I am." Let me show you the difference. When you say, "I am attracting my soulmate," you're speaking from the energy of someone who doesn't have their soulmate yet. But when you say, "I am deeply loved," you're speaking from the energy of someone who is already experiencing love. Can you feel the difference in your body as you say these two statements? When you affirm, "Money flows to me easily," you're in the energy of someone waiting for money to flow. But when you say, "I am financially free," you're in the energy of someone who already has financial freedom. Your nervous system responds completely differently to these two statements. The secret is this: you need to manifest from the end result, not towards it. You need to be the person who already has what you want, not the person who's trying to get what you want. This isn't about pretending or forcing yourself to feel something you don't feel. This is about recognizing that the version of you who has everything you desire already exists within you. Here's how you shift from lack-based manifestation to abundance-based creation. First, you need to identify what it would feel like to already be the person who has what you want. Not what it would feel like to get it, but what it feels like to be it. If you want financial freedom, what does it feel like to be someone who never worries about money? If you want your dream relationship, what does it feel like to be someone who is deeply loved and cherished? Then, you're going to practice being that person for short periods throughout your day. Not as a manifestation technique, but as a reminder of who you actually are. You're going to embody the energy of someone who already has what you want because that person isn't separate from you. They're simply you in a different state of being. When you wake up in the morning, instead of thinking, I hope today brings me closer to my goals, you think, I am so grateful for the abundant life I'm living. Instead of, I'm working on manifesting my dream job, you think, I love the work I do and the value I bring to the world. Can you feel how these thoughts come from a completely different place energetically? This is what Joe Dispenza means when he talks about becoming someone new. You're not trying to get something. You're remembering who you already are. You're not reaching for abundance. You're recognizing the abundance that's already here. You're not manifesting love. You're acknowledging the love that you already are. Your manifestation practice becomes a celebration of what is, rather than a desperate attempt to get what isn't. You're not trying to convince the universe to give you something. You're aligning with the version of reality where you already have everything you desire. Here's a practical way to shift this immediately. For the next week, every time you catch yourself in a manifestation, thought that starts with, I want, or I need, or I'm trying to attract, pause and ask yourself, how would I think about this if I already had it? Then think that thought instead. If you catch yourself thinking, I want more money, ask, how would someone who has financial freedom think about money? They might think, I'm so grateful for this abundant flow, or I love how money allows me to be generous. Feel the difference in your body between these two thoughts. If you catch yourself thinking, I want to find love, ask, how would someone who is deeply loved think about love? They might think, I'm so grateful for the love in my life. Or, I love how supported I feel. Notice how your nervous system responds to this shift. The beautiful thing about this approach is that you're not trying to force anything or convince yourself of something that doesn't feel true. You're simply remembering that the version of you who has everything you desire already exists. You're not becoming someone new, you're becoming who you already are. This is why manifestation can happen instantly for some people. They're not trying to get something. They're simply being who they are. They're not manifesting from lack. They're creating from wholeness. They're not reaching for abundance. They're recognizing that abundance is their natural state. Your desires aren't separate from you. They're expressions of who you already are. When you want financial freedom, it's because part of you already knows what it feels like to be financially free. When you want deep love, it's because part of you already knows what it feels like to be deeply loved. When you want creative success, it's because part of you already knows what it feels like to be creatively successful. The work isn't to get these things. The work is to remember that you already are these things. You're not lacking anything. You're simply not recognizing what's already here. You're not incomplete. You're simply not acknowledging your completeness. Start practicing being who you already are, rather than trying to become who you think you need to be. Feel into the energy of already having what you want, not the energy of trying to get what you want. Notice how your thoughts, feelings, and actions naturally align when you embody this energy. Your manifestations aren't stuck because you're not good enough or because the universe isn't listening. They're stuck because you've been manifesting from the wrong place. You've been trying to get somewhere instead of being somewhere. But when you shift from lack to abundance, from wanting to being, from trying to embodying, everything changes. You are already everything you're trying to become. You already have everything you're trying to manifest. You already are everything you're trying to attract. The work is simply to remember this truth and embody it in every moment. Stop manifesting from lack and start creating from abundance. Your reality is waiting to match the energy of who you already are. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonates, drop a comment with any epiphanies. These videos are made as a guide to help you reconnect with knowledge kept within you. Take what resonates within you and release the rest. Follow the page for more content and sign up for the Patreon for the opportunity to ask more personal questions and also hear longer form answers to all the biggest questions. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep shining your light.